So, you met the Avengers, a Marvel fanfiction written on AO3 by Warlock_Rider. The link for this fanfiction will be in the description box below, so I encourage you all to go check it out. So, are you excited to meet everyone? Tony asks in the elevator on the way up to the penthouse, where the Avengers, minus Bruce and Thor, are waiting to meet Peter, who Tony talks about constantly. They swear it's like they've already met the kid. Excited? Mr. Stark, this is the best day of my life, Peter exclaimed. Besides meeting you, of course, Peter added with a smile. I should hope so, kid, Tony said as he ruffled Peter's hair. Peter was way too excited to be annoyed by the action. Avengers, I'd like you to meet my kid, Peter, Tony introduced. Everyone smiled at Peter. Even Natasha gave a small smile toward the kid, who had forgotten how to speak apparently. Hey, Pete, do you not know how to speak? 'Cause you normally never shut up, Tony joked. Hi, I'm Peter, which you already know 'cause what Tony just said, Peter rambled awkwardly, completely starstruck. Don't worry, he'll get over the stage in a few days. He did with me, and I'm his favorite hero, teased Tony. You kinda lose that superhero edge when I see dummies spray you with a fire extinguisher twice in 5 minutes, mocked Peter, gaining a laugh from the Avengers. He couldn't wait to tell Ned about this tomorrow. Peter got acquainted with the team for the next few minutes. He was completely awestruck that he was talking to them, but soon enough they fell into a normal conversation. What even is his life? Peter talked excitedly with everyone on the team, who listened to his stories enthusiastically, as well as sharing their own with him. Peter got on really well with everyone. Within seconds of meeting him, they all decided they would do anything to protect Peter. Tony did notice that he seemed less excited to meet Cap and listen to some of his stories, something he questioned Peter on when he got the chance. In Peter's defense, he could barely string a single word together when he spoke to Steve, but whenever he went on a long monologue or story, all Peter can think about were those PSA videos that he and his class were made to watch. He swears he has them memorized at this point, so he was immune to Cap's long speeches. To be honest, kid, I thought you'd be more excited to see Cap, Tony remarked, even though he was incredibly happy that none of his team would ever steal his kid from him. They all got on that well. Well, I do actually have something I want to say to him, if that's okay, Peter replied, smiling innocently at Tony and Steve for confirmation. Of course, Peter, Steve replied, although thoroughly confused as they'd only just met and he hadn't said anything previously. Peter grinned widely before grabbing one of the chairs, turning around in it and sitting backwards. So, you got detention, Peter smirked, making his voice deeper to imitate the now embarrassed-looking Captain America. How do you know about those? Steve groaned, his head in his hands and his face bright red. The rest of the team, including Tony, looked at Peter in confusion. I'm in high school. I've seen those so many times. Peter laughed hysterically. He had tears in his eyes at Steve's embarrassment and the fact he'd managed to make one of Earth's mightiest heroes blush. Everyone looked between the two, even more confused. Is there anything you'd like to share with the class? Tony asked. Yes, no, Steve and Peter called out respectively. Peter grinned mischievously, as Steve wished he was back on the ice to avoid this conversation. Why did I ever agree to those damn videos? I knew they'd come back to haunt me one day, Steve thought. So, Cap here decided to do some PSA videos for high schoolers. There's one for every possible situation, even drugs. And you became Captain America by being injected with an experimental drug, Peter exclaimed, howling with laughter at Steve's growing humiliation. By the time Peter was finished, everyone had burst out laughing at Cap. Kid, you have to show us these, Clint remarked between laughter. Please don't, Steve practically begged. However, having known Tony, he knew for a fact that Peter wouldn't listen, and they could all tell pretty quickly that Peter was a lot like Tony. Friday, play Cap's PSA videos for me, Peter instructed. Friday complied instantly, as Steve accepted his fate and became determined to become one with the couch. Everyone was practically crying with laughter by the time they'd finished. Clint was wondering how they'd never come across them before. All of them mocked Steve relentlessly for them. Whenever anyone did anything wrong, even the smallest things, they go into a PSA lecture style. Steve cursed the day he made those videos, and it's safe to say that no one's ever going to let Steve forget about them.